Speak to yourself to learn English. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a young girl named Emily. Emily loved reading books and dreamed of learning English to explore stories from around the world. However, she faced a challenge. No one in her village spoke English, and there were no English classes available. Determined to learn, Emily decided to teach herself. She borrowed an old English dictionary and a few simple storybooks from the village library. She realized that to improve, she needed to practice speaking, but with whom? One morning, as she sat by the riverbank, an idea struck her. Why not speak to myself, she thought. Emily began by reading sentences out loud from her books. She would then close the book and try to repeat what she read. First, it was difficult. She stumbled over words and her pronunciation was awkward. But she did not give up. Every day, Emily would take a walk around the village, narrating everything she saw in English. "The sun is shining brightly," she would say, or, "the children are playing in the field." She talked to herself about her daily activities, her dreams, and even her worries. As days turned into weeks, Emily noticed her English improving. She started to feel more confident. She began having imaginary conversations with herself, asking and answering questions. "What did you do today, Emily?" she would ask. "I studied new words and practiced speaking," she would reply. Emily also used her reflection as her conversation partner. Standing in front of the mirror, she would pretend she was talking to a friend. She paid attention to her facial expressions and gestures, making her practice feel more real. This technique helped her become more expressive and natural in her speech. One day, a traveler from the city visited the village. He was surprised to hear Emily speaking fluent English. "How did you learn to speak so well?" he asked. Emily smiled and replied, "I spoke to myself every day. It was like having an English-speaking friend who was always there for me." The traveler was impressed and shared Emily's story with others. Vocabulary. Let's learn some words from the story. Determined. Meaning. Having made a firm decision and being resolved not to change it. Example. Emily was determined to learn English despite the lack of resources in her village. Pronunciation. Meaning. The way in which a word is pronounced. Example. At first, her pronunciation was awkward, but it improved over time. Confident. Meaning. Feeling or showing certainty about something. Example. Emily started to feel more confident in her English-speaking abilities. Imaginary. Meaning. Existing only in the imagination. Not real. Example. She began having imaginary conversations with herself to practice English. Encouraging. Meaning. Giving someone support or confidence. Supportive. Example. Emily became a teacher, encouraging her students to practice speaking English every day. Creativity. Meaning. The use of imagination or original ideas to create something. Inventiveness. Example. Emily's creativity in learning English inspired other children in the village. Narrating. Meaning. Giving a spoken or written account of something. Example. She would walk around the village narrating everything she saw in English. Soon, more children in the village started following Emily's method. They would walk around talking to themselves in English and practicing in front of mirrors. Years later, Emily became a teacher and opened the village's first English school. She taught her students the same way she had learned, by encouraging them to speak to themselves, to describe their world, and to hold conversations with their reflections. Emily's story became an inspiration, proving that with determination and creativity, anyone could learn a new language, even if they had to speak to themselves to do it.